Hello. Hey. Welcome, Replay fam. My name is Tatiana. I'm the CEO of the Inspired Blueprint. I am a mentor, and I am very excited that you are here. We are doing our weekly Inspire chat. This has been so fun to be going live with you all, and I just appreciate those of you that can tune in live. But I also appreciate my Replay fam. I just want to shout you out and say hello if you happen to be watching this after the fact. But thank you for joining me tonight. We are going to be talking about another surprise topic. These calls are created to really encourage you in whatever season you are in, whether it be something you're trying to do in business realm of things, personal side of life, to encourage you, to reignite a flame inside of you, and to help you to get out of your own way. This is a big theme over here. The Inspire Blueprint is really helping people to get out of their way so that they can truly build lives that they desire. And so I'm excited for us to get into today's topic. Today's topic is called growth versus discomfort. And I am really excited about today's topic, mainly because this is something that I am personally experiencing in my current season of life right now, in a very literal sense. And so I wanted to talk about it and what I'm learning and all of those things. Hello, as you are joining, let me know where you're watching from. Hey, Bridget. Hey, Kiana. What's up? Minding my kingdom business. I love it. Thank you for joining me tonight. So we are going to be talking about growth versus discomfort. And the thing is, they are not mutually exclusive. They're just not. So we're going to talk about it because it is very important for us to realize that in order for us to grow in any area of life, there's going to be some discomfort. There's going to be some things we aren't fans of, but it is a part of the process. And I'm going to share some tips on how I personally am getting myself through and have gotten myself through these different phases of discomfort and just overall what I've taken away from it. So y'all know I love to just pour into you and share. Hey, okay, someone's watching from Raleigh. Hi, Taste of Relaxation. Hey, JNP. Thank you for joining me today. Okay, so I do have to just let y'all know over on Instagram, I am going to be sharing a quick little like 3-ish minute video here on YouTube. I'm not able to do it. Well, I don't know if I can do it on Instagram, but I'm not going to be trying to figure out this tech right now. But I just wanted to share that. So just in case when there's a little bit of a period of nothing going on, that's why you can definitely check it out on YouTube if you would like. I am live on both today. So if you see me looking back and forth, that is why. But before I get into this, today is fun. We're going to be talking about that topic. Last week, we talked about obedience and what obedience looks like, why it is important for us to be obedient, how we can really honor the season of being obedient, and just all of the things around that. So if you did not see that one, definitely make sure you go back and check out last week's Inspire Chat because it was a good one. And I feel like it's a follow-up to the one that we are talking about today. And also, I'm going to be sharing a peek at a new product that is launching next Tuesday, y'all. Okay, so this time next week, people will be able to purchase, and I am beyond excited. So I think I'm actually going to kick things off with a quote. This is a quote that is very special to me. It was one that I put on a subscription box back, I don't know. I want to say it might have been maybe sometime in like 2018, maybe. It was on one of my subscription boxes. And if you aren't familiar with my story, I used to have a stationery business called the Stationery Muse. And one of the things that really took my business off was subscription boxes. And every single month until it became bi-monthly for a little while, but mostly it was a monthly box, I had a different theme. And the theme was always very inspirational, encouraging. I mean, surprise, right? So with every theme, it was something that allowed people to not only get all their stationery stuff, there would be just different little like apparel and little accessories and everything. But I will always have quotes and encouragement just on the different products. And so there was this quote that I came up with. And I'll have to try to see if I can find the box, maybe share it on stories or something later. But the quote was, "May my urge for growth be stronger than my urge for comfort." And at the time, I wrote it out because it was very in line with the theme of the box, but it's so in line with what life is. We want to grow. We want to see ourselves surpass certain things that we initially expected of ourselves. There's so many expectations that society puts on us, we put on ourselves. But with all of that growth, it comes a lot of discomfort. And a lot of times we are not ready for that part of the growing process. We want all the accolades, we want all of the money, we want all of the people and the acknowledgement, but that comes at a cost sometimes, and not necessarily like anything to be scary, but it comes at a cost that sometimes we are not prepared for. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we dive into that, I wanted to show y'all this product that I have been working on. So I have quite a few of them here. Okay. I have quite a few of them here, and I just wanted to share about this really briefly. If you are not on my email list, make sure you get on it. I have it in the description or I have it in the description for YouTube, and then also I have it in my link in bio on Instagram. So definitely check it out if you want, because I'm going to be sharing a sneak peek of all of the things that are going to be launching next Tuesday in addition to these. So these are the new Inspire Blueprint journals. Okay. And these are kind of like an elevated version of my standard mini notebooks. If you've ever purchased a mini notebook from me before, definitely in the comments, let me know. Okay. They're a whole thing. I love them. You can get them customized and all of that. So this is what that is. So this, as you can see, is a lot bigger. So that's the first thing. The size is bigger on these. These are pretty much, you can customize your cover and everything. They're lined on the inside, and that's about the extent of what the mini notebooks offer. With these new journals, this is created to really help you or anyone. I really see these being great gifts for people. So honestly, if you have someone in your life that you feel really has potential, you see them really doing this thing, they've been talking about it forever, and you believe in them, you feel like they can do it, but it's just something that they need to get out of their own way, right? They need to just have that extra push. I created this journal for that person in mind. Someone that, loves to write things down. They love to just unpack their thoughts. They love to journal possibly, or they want to get into journaling. And they love to have some encouragement, some fluff, if you will, which I talked about a little bit on the live last week. So I'm going to actually share with you the cover that I just mentioned about the quote from that one box. It actually is now a cover on one of these journals. So it's that same quote: "May my urge for growth be stronger than my urge for comfort." You see, it's really, really pretty. So there's a ton of different cover designs you'll be able to choose from. I'm just showing you a few of them, but I mean, they're really cute. This one literally says, "I will get out of my own way." I have one with the Inspire Blueprint acronym on there. I have one for moms because Mother's Day is coming up. So we got a mom one. And then I think I held this one up first. This was the "I will get out of my own way" journal. So that's the front of it. You can get these customized as well. That's always going to be a thing with the journals, but they all come with sticker sheets, y'all. So in these, you get 2 sets of sticker sheets. So the first one is kind of more of a decorative, encouraging sticker sheet, I would say. Has different things on there, just affirmations, stuff like "I'm beautiful, I'm enough," answered prayers, vent session, on that note, fearless, on my mind. So you have a sticker sheet with that. Holding it a little closer for y'all to see on YouTube. And then on the second page, there's journal prompts. Because how many of you, sometimes you want to write in your journal, but you don't even really know where to begin? You're like, okay, I kind of want to sit down and do this, but I don't know. So I give you some starting points with these journal prompts, and you can see them right here. So we have tons of things to get started with. If you're not sure what to write down, I've given you quite a few to get you started. I don't know if this is, let me see. Hopefully that makes it a little bit better. There we go. So different things on here: "A letter to my younger self," "Dear God," "Let's be honest," "I need to be more intentional about," "I'm most proud of." That's what you can find on here. So you get 2 journaling pages. There's also some things in here that are going to walk you through the Inspire Blueprint acronym. So if you've been following me for a while, my acronym is a really big deal. It is basically the principle of my business, but it is so much more than that. It really is what will lead you to build a life you desire, which is what the Inspire Blueprint is all about. So there's walking through of exactly what that is. And then there's even some prompts to kind of get you started with that acronym. So the reason this is in here is just, again, it's for someone who maybe you want to get into journaling, not sure where to get started. This will kind of guide you just slightly, right? But I don't like to dictate what people do. So the rest of this is for the most part lined pages. You have your standard pages where you can write things down. Hello, thanks for joining. And then every now and then there's a little encouragement. Okay, just on a random page, there's some encouragement throughout. And I'm not going to show every single thing. I am going to be doing a full flip through on the channel soon, but that is just to give you a taste of it. So these are the Inspire Blueprint journals. They will be launching next Tuesday along with a few other items. So stay tuned for that. But I just wanted to give y'all a quick little peek at what to expect. These are all of my samples. I've been working so hard on them, and I'm just excited for you to finally get your hands on these. They're so, so cute. Okay. So I'm happy we got that out of the way, but make sure you are on my mailing list so that you will be one of the first people to see the peak of all of the products, because I'm going to be sharing a little bit of like a peek for you guys on the newsletter tomorrow. So let's dive into today's topic. As I share, we're going to be talking about growth versus discomfort. So before we get started, I really wanted to share a clip from a video that I recorded earlier today. And Instagram would not let me be great. I put a reel up on my personal Instagram, but it would only let me do 90 seconds of the video. And I really felt like all 3 minutes was good. And it fits very much with what we're talking about today. So I'm going to play that first. Again, if you are watching this on Instagram, feel free to switch over to YouTube if you would like, so that you can see this video. So we're going to start with that, and then I will come back and we will get through our points, and then I will let you all go on your evening. So again, we're talking about growth versus discomfort. And here is my video from earlier. Okay. I've been running for a little over 3 months now. And I have to say, it is one of the most challenging things ever. Like the way, I don't like these bugs out here. The way that you have to motivate yourself like no other. Especially if you're training by yourself, like I've been training by myself for this race. There's no one here to tell me to keep going, or you got this, or I see you, or any of those things. Like, it's literally just myself, and it just really tests your belief in you. It really tests your willpower, your mental toughness, and just your ability to show up for yourself, even when you want to give up. And at one point, I had literally stopped and asked myself, why am I doing this? To the point where I started walking. And a lot of times it can feel like we're alone, you know? That's just how it is in our day-to-day. But with God, and even just a small amount of belief within yourself, you can make a lot of things happen. And so I did walk a few times, but somehow it still managed to be my fastest time. So I'll take it. I had to do a 40-minute run today. On 5 occasions, I feel like 4 or 5 occasions, I literally said I can't do this to myself. And then I had to turn around and be my cheerleader, all in the same kind of breath. It's just, wow. That's all I can say. But I finished a 5K, and I did it in a quicker time than the first time I did it. And so I just try to think, get to the end, get to the end. You can do this. You've done this before. This is not anything new. You got this. And I pass that message along to you that today is not anything new. You've been here, right? You've gone through tough things. You've showed up for yourself before. You've done things that you didn't think you could do. Don't let this thing today that you're dealing with be the thing that stops you or make you feel like you're up against this wall that you can't, because you can. You got this. Be your cheerleader, okay? I'm your cheerleader, but be your cheerleader. Don't give up. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you could hear and see that okay, because that was my first time doing that with StreamYard. So hopefully y'all weren't like, what is happening? So if somebody could just let me know if you did hear it. But anyway, so if you don't know, I've been talking about it for a little bit now, but I started running back in January, and that clip was from this morning. I had to run for 40 minutes, and honestly, I was not having a good run today. I just really had a lot of moments of doubt and wanting to give up. And on top of that, it's uncomfortable to run. Like, I don't know. Running is an uncomfortable sport. There's definitely not a moment when I'm running where I'm not feeling like, okay, shoot, like this just feels amazing the whole time. I have moments, where I'm like, oh, I'm into it, but running is something that really is challenging and it has a lot of discomfort, but the growth that I've gotten from it, the lessons that I've learned, the takeaways that I've had, I'm so grateful for it, even in all of the uncomfortable moments, the moments where I've been basically wanting to cry, when I'm asking, why am I doing this to begin with? When I'm having to cheer myself on, because there's no one else around. These are things that apply to so much of what we have in our lives. And when we think about growth, there's so many times in our life where we feel uncomfortable. Think about that awkward middle school age, when we decide, or not even decide, we don't really get a choice. It's like all of a sudden, we're just in this awkward preteen age, and we're kind of going through that, and we're dealing with different things, like maybe there's broken bones, there might be bullying going on, you're tired of school, you think you know everything more than your parents. It's awkward years. There's a lot of discomfort in that time of life. Running and working out, for me, this is all a very new thing for me, but there's so many times when it's painful, it's uncomfortable, but I always am so grateful for the growth and the progress, and that even if it's just a little bit of improvement every single time, it's worth the discomfort. Relationships are the same way. People change. We go through moments of feeling uncomfortable, and over the years, we have to learn how to navigate that. And it's the same with business. We will want to grow, but with the growth comes discomfort. So, the first thing that I wanted to share, my first point, I guess I would say, is to look for signs of proof. So, when we think about being uncomfortable, and I'm sure there may be something that you may even have on your mind right now where you feel like, okay, I don't really know how I want to make this thing happen right now. Or, things are getting really good, but I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. A really good example for me of this was when my subscription box took off. And I mentioned that at the beginning, kind of strategically, because I wanted to bring it back up for this point. But there was a time when I started my subscription box that I literally had my mom and my godmother were my my two subscribers, okay? And that was just maybe the first month or two, and then slowly I started to get people here and there, and I had people that were just so amazing and literally subscribed through until the end when I finally decided to stop doing it. But during that time, I had a lot of growth, but people would leave, people would cancel, and that was uncomfortable, right? Because it would make me feel like, okay, is my box not good enough? Are there things I could be doing better? Is there something wrong? And a lot of times it really didn't have anything to do with me, but it still felt uncomfortable. But that's what comes with growth. And then I had a really, really cool opportunity where I ended up working with an influencer at the time. I always shout her out, Lisa Mac Plans, and even E. Michelle as well. They had me feature my products. I was interviewed on E. Michelle's channel, and my business had another like bump, and it took off again. And I ended up getting the most subscription boxes that I had at that time. And through that, it led to a lot of burnout. It was a very large capacity. Like I had prayed for me to have, I think I want to say at the time, it was like over 100 boxes. And keep in mind, this was all handmade, y'all. Okay. And pretty much every product was handmade. And a lot of them had people's names on them or specific shirt sizes, specific skin tones. So it was a lot of attention to detail to make sure nothing got messed up, on top of just the machines acting up when I was trying to cut certain materials for different things. And I felt very burnt out. And I was like, okay, I wanted this growth, but there's so much discomfort in this moment. And I really had to look for signs of proof that I could do this, that I could make this happen. I will never forget. It was my December box, and this was in 2018. My daughter was only like 3 or 4 months old. She was very small. It was our first Christmas with her and everything. And I had boxes of what felt like up to my ears at the time. And I was just like crying. I'm like, I don't know how to do all of this. Like, I don't, not that I don't know how to do it. I need help. Like, my husband ended up helping me. And it was the first time where I felt like, okay, maybe this isn't what I thought it would be, or, maybe it seems more glamorous, when you see other people having these experiences, but there's a lot of discomfort going on in the background. So I had to look for proof that I can do this. I had to pull out of my back pocket different things that I have done in the past that could show me you can do this. I had been doing that box at that point for over a year, almost 2 years. Shoot, I'm trying to think. No, I started the box in 2017. So yeah, it was about a year and a half. And I had to look at the fact that, okay, I had did over probably, what was that? Maybe like almost 20 something boxes. And it's like, girl, you can do this. You can do this. You've had influxes of orders before. You just gave birth to a child, right? Just so many things I'm dealing with, the newborn stages of life. And so it's like, you can do hard things. So the first thing that I suggest for you is, if you are in any type of discomfort, if it's a situation where you're like me, trying to train for some type of race, or you're getting into working out, look for signs of proof of things that you have done before, to show yourself that I can do hard things. I'm a mom. I can do hard things. I work full time. I can do hard things. I deal with these crazy people on a daily basis. I can do hard things. Constantly look for the proof of what you have done before, because that is all you need to show yourself that you can do something, even if it feels uncomfortable in the moment. And I'm going to keep saying that quote again, because may my urge for growth be stronger than my urge for comfort. May the urge for you to grow and get to this next level, to hit this goal that you want to achieve, be stronger than the discomfort you are feeling right now in this current season. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like, so we went to the zoo this past weekend. It was kind of like our last little hurrah for Emery's spring break. And earlier that day, I had did a run as well, because that's just with the plans, how it goes. There's a lot of running. And so I don't know what I was thinking. I got up at like 7 something in the morning, ran, got that out of the way, then had to turn around, get everybody up so that we could get out the door. We drove an hour to the Columbia Zoo, which was really nice, by the way. Okay, so definitely check it out. If you live near it, or if you've been there before, it was a really nice zoo. We had to drive an hour to that zoo. And then when we got there, the food, y'all, the line for the food was absolutely ridiculous. We waited, I want to say almost like 50 minutes to an hour after I had placed the order for the food, for them to finally tell us it was ready. It was absolutely crazy. And keep in mind, I had ran earlier that day. So if you know about running, it's like you are a lot of times starving after you run. And so I had a little bit of protein, but I wasn't anticipating the line at the zoo food options being so crazy. Like, it was insane. So I say all of this to say that there were moments within that day, us walking around, it was slightly kind of hot. I was hungry. I was ready to go to my comfort. I was ready to go to my house. I wanted to be at home. I wanted to just get a meal. I wanted to get in the bed because I was just exhausted from the day. And so think about it like that. Like, there's so many times where we will be uncomfortable and we are ready to get back to our comfort. We're ready to get back to our home, our cozy pajamas, our bed. Like, how many of y'all just be ready to get back into bed? Okay. That is what I'm talking about. That comfort of just, we might be coasting along and we're feeling really good. If I'm at the gym and I know, for example, for a long time when I was doing like the and this, y'all still trying to learn all the terms. I think it's the barbell. It's like the long thing, and then you can put the weights on the side. Okay, whatever that thing is. So I've been doing that, doing like deadlifts and the squats and stuff, holding it. And for the longest time, I just was doing the bar. Eventually that became my comfort zone. And so if I wanted to grow, if I wanted to continue to build muscle, if I wanted to really go along with what my plan was telling me, my plan was saying, okay, this week, either add more reps or add more weight. And I'll be looking at the plan like, ooh, okay, girl, I don't know, like, that's going to be uncomfortable for me. That's going to be a challenge to add weight on there. Now I'm going to have to sweat a little bit more. I'm going to have to take my time a little bit more. But every time I did it, not only was I super proud of myself, because I'm like, yes, I added on 5 more pounds, added on 10 more pounds, 20 more pounds, whatever it is. But the growth, like I got like some little muscles on my arms now. I never had no little muscles on my arms. And I can feel it. Like when I run, I can feel that I'm stronger. Even in my day-to-day things that I do, like cutting the pages for those notebooks I showed you all. My arm is a little bit stronger. It can lift things. So it's just like I see it in my day-to-day that I'm growing. But it was uncomfortable in the moment to decide to do that. So really, we are leaning into this in all areas of life. It doesn't have to just be business. So that's why I'm giving a lot of different examples. But there's always going to be some discomfort with growing. But that is the beauty of it because it's growth, right? We get better, we learn. So the second point that I have for this is to look up and look within. And when you look within, is the first thing I want to say. Looking within is really about us staying in our lane. We're not looking to other people to make us feel more comfortable. And that's kind of what I talked about in that video clip. You have to be your own cheerleader sometimes, right? You have to be the one that's going to get it in quotation marks. Because like I always say, like, even when I talk about the membership, I'm always like, oh, be in a community with women that get it and understand what you're doing. But there are going to be certain aspects of life where people just aren't going to get what you're doing. They're not going to understand it. They're not going to be interested in it. And it's no fault to them because we all are different, but it does not take away from what you're trying to do. Literally nobody in my life runs. Okay. Literally nobody. None of my friends, none of my family, nobody does that. So it's very unrelatable to most people. And so it's like I don't really have that aspect. I have tried to find community online, but I am a little introverted, and different things like that. So it takes me some time to start putting myself out there for that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm the one wanting to do this race. I'm not doing it with the team. It's just me. So we have to be our own cheerleaders. We have to look within and understand that this is something that I want to do. This is the business that I want to grow because God told me that I was assigned to these people. This is a goal that I've had on my list for the longest time. This is a prayer that I've been praying for. And that is okay, right? And I think as I get older and I learn, I was even having a conversation with a friend about this. It's just sometimes we look to other people to give us what we need, but we don't always need that. Sometimes we have it right within ourselves and we have to believe that enough to know that we can make this happen. So look within, but then also you want to look up. Okay. And we know what look up means because we always gonna have a little bit of faith over here. So I have two scriptures that I wanted to share with this one. So the first one is from Psalms 118, verses 5-6. And it says, I called to the Lord in distress. The Lord answered me and put me in a spacious place. The Lord is for me. I will not be afraid. And then the other scripture that I have is from Jeremiah 17:14. And it is to heal me, Lord, and I will be healed. Save me and I will be saved. You are my praise. Okay. So both of these, I picked them out because I was specifically trying to look for scripture that was about being uncomfortable. And sometimes, we don't want to deal with that, but we have to realize that no matter what, God is always going to be there. And he is always going to be our praise, essentially. He's going to be there as our safe space, something that we can always look to as a light, as encouragement, as hope. And the belief as well that even if no one else around us if no one else around us will give us the encouragement or the tools or the acknowledgement about what we're doing that we need, that we can always look up and we can get that through the word. And that's something that I'm always working on myself because like I didn't grow up going to church, but I do find a sense of peace when I just take some time to get into the Bible, watch a good sermon, get encouraged through worship music. So whatever that may look like for you, I find that I feel a little lighter, a little more encouraged. I might have a little fire up under me to feel like, okay, well, if God said I could do this, like, then I should be able to do this, right? So it's just such a good feeling to be a child of God and to be able to look up in moments where you want to give up. And earlier during that run, y'all, okay, it was rough. It was very rough. And I definitely looked up a couple of times because I'm like, okay, remind me why I'm doing this again. Okay. But that is a very important part of being uncomfortable. And I feel like I could not have that point without saying that. I'm going to take a look at the comments really quick, and then I will come back for my third point. Okay. Asia, what's up? She said, I needed to hear this because I'm trying to break a habit that is a part of my comfort zone. Yes, comfort zone brings so much discomfort. I can completely understand it. And that's a good way to look at it as well. Sometimes things that bring us comfort may not always be good for us either. And again, it's that growth. It's us choosing to move past something that is holding us back from greater. And that's another great perspective shift to look at this as well. I didn't even think about it from that of kind of like letting something go to grow. So thank you for sharing that, Asia. And I'm wishing you all the best on your journey. I know you can do it. Monica, hello, said, greetings. I'm late, rewinding so I can hear. Oh, yes, definitely. And there will be a replay. So for anyone that got on late, but hello. Oh, my husband was on IG. I don't know if he's still on, but hey. All right. So the last point that I have on here, and then I want to talk a little bit more about the journals before we go, is to look towards the finish line. So if y'all getting tired of me talking about running, I'm not going to apologize because it's a big part of my life right now, but it has really shown me just so much about life and about our mindset and how we can dictate how far we're willing to go. Like we are in control of so many things when it comes to our abilities to move forward, to try new things, to push past what we feel is our comfort, right? My comfort level has been running 2 miles. Hitting that 3 miles is something in my mind that all of a sudden it's like I do the 2 miles and I'm good. And then once I kind of get a little bit past that 2 miles, instantly I'm like, I'm tired, I'm hot, my leg hurts. This is a lot. Why am I doing this? It's just all of a sudden like this switch that happens. And so number 3 is to look towards the finish line, whatever your finish line is. If you have to literally draw it out on a piece of paper, what your finish line is, and post it somewhere for you to see it every day. Like Asia was saying, if it is something you're trying to give up, post a picture of something that represents you giving that up and what it will look like on the other side. If you are literally trying to get to a finish line for a race like me, post something that can encourage you in that. Have a quote up that can encourage you. Anything that will fuel you to get to the finish line. I always talk about in a lot of my business videos, get to the sample, right? Get to the sample. That is such a huge part of creating products. It's so easy for us to just have it live in our head and be like, oh, it'd be cool if I did this, and oh, it would be great. People would love this. But it is another thing to have that thing you've been thinking about in your hands. Get to the sample. Get to your first email that you send out to your list. Like whatever your finish line is, and we might have a lot of mini finish lines within our life. It's not just one thing at a time. I have a couple of finish lines. I have my finish line of launching these products next week, my finish line of my race a little bit later in the week. Why I'm doing both in the same week, I'm crazy. I don't know. I have, finish lines of getting through this first kindergarten homeschool year with my daughter. I have finish lines of so many things, y'all. I could sit here and talk about them all day. But really look towards your finish line. What is your finish line? What is the thing that you can continue to fuel yourself with? At the end of the day, I'm like, another thing that helped me to get through that run was just to be like, girl, this is not your first time doing this, the 3 miles, but also I have to do this at the race. So it's like push through. This is something that you wanted to do. You signed up for this. You paid a little bit of money, so that I could be a part of this race. So it's like, and that's just me talking to myself. So it's like, you need to do this. You need to prove to yourself that you can do something hard so that now 3 miles is my new comfort zone, right? It won't just be 2 miles. Now 3 miles will be my comfort zone. And it's such a shift that we have to make. So look towards the finish line. It's important. And I know sometimes I will even say like, oh, start small with the baby steps. You can still do that, but have a North Star, have a guiding light, have something that you can continue to think about, a way to celebrate yourself, a milestone to hit, something, okay, in order for you to just feel the fuel that you need to get to the other side. It's so, so, so important. Sow the seed. Hey, Radnitska. She said, yes, when a seed is planted, the seed itself dies for the flower to grow. Yes, that is so, so, so good. Narissa, hey, had to log in on the phone. Oh, to comment. I'm here for all of this. Such a good message. Even my girls are listening. I love it. The little girls. Yes. And also, Kiana said, my finish line is building my systems and my first organic sale. Ooh, I love that. And Kiana, or not Kiana, Kiera on Instagram said, get to the sample. Janine, hey, gotta hop off. Thank you. It's been a while since joining your lives. All the best with the run. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes, y'all, we all have finish lines. And Kiana, that is a big one. The business systems is a big one. And I think, and that's what it also even makes me think of. This is not a point. This is just an extra thought I just had from her comment, is that we will have finish lines that don't sometimes have like a hard stop, right? Business systems, that's something that could be constantly growing at all times. You might have something in one season and you get everything together, but then you're like, oh, but now I need to kind of adjust this. So you can have multiple milestones, if you will, as you grow, because as you grow, more challenges come, more things come that you have to figure out. That's one of the things I will say, as my business has grown, as I've made more money, as I've gotten more of a following, as I've gotten more sales, it all comes with something. Like, it comes with a lot of blessings and, celebrating and all of that, but it also comes with a level of more responsibility, right? Because now it's like, okay, now I got to figure out this back end stuff, or now I really need to get these taxes in order. Now I really need to sit down and figure out this process so it's more smooth for people, because maybe at one point I just had one client, but now I have 5, So with any level of growth, we are going to be uncomfortable. And so again, I'm going to say it, may my urge for growth be stronger than my urge for comfort. And even back to that zoo example, like I was saying, even though I was feeling annoyed and ready to go home and hangry and all of the things, we had the best time. We were with friends. My daughter was super excited. She had a wonderful time with her friend. They had a blast. Like, I'm glad we created that memory, and it was worth the discomfort in the moment, right? It was worth me not being in my bed, me doing that drive to get up there so that we could experience that zoo. And it was worth it. But there was definitely moments of discomfort. And in motherhood, there's a lot of moments of discomfort. But I think it's always worth it when we take that extra time to work through things, even with our children, because it's growth. We get to see that growth through them as the way that we parent them, which is really, really cool as well. Let's see. Aloha from Hawaii. Love all the encouragement you share. Thank you so much. Okay, so that was all of my points pretty much. To wrap it up in a nice little bow, we had the first one was look for signs of proof. Number 2 was to look up and look within. And the third one was to look towards the finish line. The last thing I really wanted to just quickly share is that these journals, again, I showed them at the beginning, so I just wanted to show for anyone that got on late. They, amongst a few other products, are going to be launching next Tuesday. These are the official Inspire Blueprint journals. So they are a bit different from the small ones. If you've seen my small ones, or if you have some of my small ones, they are bigger. So these are actually a true A5 size. So they're about a half letter size, the new journals. They have a really nice finish on them as well. It's like this really soft matte, it's got like a really great finish. So it's waterproof as well. So the water literally rolls right off. I've tested it a few times and I'm just like, yes, like this is beautiful. This is what I've been hoping for. Also, and that is also going to be coming to the planners when the next planners come, which they'll be getting restocked soon. So stay tuned for that as well. But yeah, it's a really, really cute little journal. It's got some encouragement throughout, of course. We have the Inspire acronym in there to kind of help you work through some things. There's some prompts in the beginning to just get your mind working a little bit. And then it's pretty much a traditional lined journal. The main difference is that throughout there is surprise encouragement in here. And I don't want to show all of it because I really want you, like, if you do get one, I want you to be surprised and be like, oh my gosh. But I will show you one of the pages. It's just throughout, just random little encouragement. I'm really just trying to exude all things inspiration around here. I really am. And then I didn't even share this one. These are my different samples. So some of them have sticker sheets in there, some of them don't, y'all. It's kind of a little bootleg for the samples. But these are the sticker sheets that I showed a little bit earlier. So we have this first one on here, kind of decorative with some different encouragement on there, like answer prayers, I'm beautiful, fearless, vent session, called, I'm capable. And then on the second page, we have a page of journal prompts and just different things to help you. So if you do want to write in a journal, but maybe you don't know what you want to write necessarily, so it just gives you some starting points, things like dear me, dear God, I'm deserving of more because I know this is for me, but so just kind of get your mind working a little bit. There are tons of covers. Some of them say I will get out of my own way on them. There's the acronym one, another I will get out of my own way journal. This one is definitely inspired today's topic, which is the May my urge for growth be stronger than my urge for comfort. And then I even have a little mom one because we got Mother's Day coming up, but even we're moms all the time. So this is literally for any time, but a little mom one as well. And these with other things will be launching on Tuesday. Make sure you are on my newsletter because I will be sending out a little sneak peek tomorrow in that inspired note that I send out on Wednesdays, just with some peeks of a few more things that are coming out as well. Okay, let me see if anyone else, so did anyone have any questions or anything before I go? I hope that this topic was encouraging. I'm sure it was. I saw some of your comments. I appreciate you as always for getting on with me every week for these chats. The main reason that I wanted to call them Inspire Chats is because I really didn't want them to fit into any type of box. I didn't want it to feel like I had to specifically talk about business or I had to specifically talk about faith or anything. I really just wanted it to feel like, okay, this is currently what I am experiencing today or this week, and I want to share it with you. And hopefully you get some kind of encouragement from it. And it's been really fun to do these. I think we've been doing them for a decent amount of weeks now, and I'm excited. We're going to keep it going. We'll be back next Tuesday again for another one, especially because it'll be the launch day. But yes, thank you all for getting on. I'll wait just a little bit longer to see if anyone has any comments or questions before I go. But yeah, just as the last thing I had on here as a note for the growth versus discomfort. I'm going to take a sip of water really quick. I've been talking so much. Hey, Forever Charm. Okay, sorry, y'all. So the last thing I had on here as well is that discomfort can also look different for everyone. So I know I've kind of talked about, maybe some lighter topics or different things, but this can also apply to grief. It can apply to just extreme disappointment, heartbreak, pain of any sort, health. The first thing is that I pray for anyone that might be dealing with any of these things that you start to see signs of hope and that you start to feel that there is some growth through it. And the growth for you may look like finding peace or starting to feel a little bit more like yourself, starting to see the light, right? Starting to feel lighter, not have as much sadness. But right now, there may be some discomfort that you're experiencing in this season. So that's my hope for you. If you happen to be dealing with anything like that, I just pray that for you specifically, because that's definitely a lot heavier, it's just that you will have some hope again and that you will start to feel like yourself, feel lighter as I shared, and just continue on this thing we call life, and know that you'll get through it. Okay, Narissa said, what does the mom notebook say? Oh, yeah. It's really cute. It just says mom, mama, mommy, and then mother. I'm holding it up for you guys to see. Let me try to focus it a little bit better. And it's this really pretty, I actually made this watercolor pattern, y'all. I was really proud of it. It's really cute. So this is designed by moi, but very, very cute. But yeah, so that amongst a few other things will be launching on Tuesday. So stay tuned. Thank you for getting on with me this evening. Thank you, Shauna. And I will see you all on our next live next week. Bye.